Hi, I'm James Shillinglaw, and I'm here today with Lisa Syme, Vice President, Product Management for Princess Cruises. And we're going to talk to Lisa today about one of Princess Cruises' biggest destinations, Alaska. And that's coming up, the season's coming up, and they've made their awesome changes, and their regular program was always good, and now they have even better stuff. So we're going to talk to her about that and more, and you're going to find out that on Insider Travel Report. Lisa, great to see you.
Great to see you too, James.
Now, we talk, Princess calls itself sort of the destination leader, but there is one destination that kind of really stands out apart for Princess, and that is Alaska. Talk a little bit about why that is. I mean, you do have some competition from your sister line there, and they're going to have an argument with you on that one, but Princess does a great job and really is one of the leaders there.
Yep, yep. Well, I think our the sister relationship is fun because it's actually a brother, and we were both introducing something up at a conference in Juneau earlier this week, and after I did my spiel, he did his spiel, and I said, I really like Dan. I'm just so competitive, right? So we fight, and then but it's all for just trying to make good money for the corporation and bring good
Well,
experience.
actually, I think the competition between the two of you have been good because you're both trying to raise the bar.
That's right. That's right. And stay ahead of the other competitors. That's what we're really trying to do. And
Well,
really deliver the Alaska experience our guests deserve.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So what makes it so good?
well, what makes it so good, really the whole reason people go really is mountains, glaciers, and wildlife,
Hmm.
right? And there's a national park element in there, but because of those things. But that's really the fundamentals. And that has not changed. I've been in the Alaska commercial space for Princess Cruises for 41 years, and this research remains consistent
Hmm.
over a very long period of time. And those are the top three. And then the secondary motivators of why people go are things like Alaska seafood, riding the Alaska Railroad, and cruising the Inside Passage. So if I look at the span of time at which we've been sailing Alaska for 55 years, all of our decisions have been predicated on those drivers. This is why people want to go. And so we have developed over the years things that help facilitate the ability to experience those things. So, as an example, one of the elements that we have focused on, let's take glaciers. We
Hmm.
have the most Glacier Bay National Park permits. We make sure every cruise has a glacier, and we really leaned into the one-way cruises, which are considered voyage of the glaciers or Gulf, the Vancouver to Anchorage area
Yeah.
and back, and for a couple reasons. But fundamentally, we have three ships in going there in 25. We'll have four ships on that itinerary in 26. So we really leaned into that because it's the best cruise. It goes twice as far in 1 week. Now, do you have to fly a little further to get there? Yeah. Is it worth it? Yeah, as well. And that cruise itinerary, just as one feature of it, is you get two glacier experiences, right? You get Glacier Bay National Park and then either Hubbard or uh, College Fjord. So we really have leaned into that in our deployments. And to be able to go to those places, you have to do a lot of programming, coordination with the national park, all these things to be allowed to go into that park. So that's an example of over the decades of us really investing in being able to deliver that experience.
No, and you really know the ropes there. You know that where you go and the best things to go to places. Now, but then you've had the influx of so many other lines that going there. But what is the sort of the Princess difference?
I would say the princess difference is a couple things. One, because why like who cares if you've been there for 55 years? Let's start with that. Like,
Yeah.
okay, that's like stand by, but why do I consumer care? Two reasons. One, we actually have the real people living in Alaska, hundreds of them who work for our organization, who are part of the community, and they kind of know what's going on and the niches and how to solve problems. And it just creates an authenticity and the ability to pivot and bring the best. So that's one. Two, having been there forever, we have port preference. This is the key. So we can leave, for example, we can cruise out of Seattle with two ships Saturday and Sunday and go on a fantastic itinerary because we've been there long enough to have either secured those port slots or built a pier to make to empower it. So
Right.
that's part of it, is having been there long enough to have the key days of the week. Similarly, we have our Gulf ships leave on two of the four leave on Saturday. So it's some of it is just being able to deliver within that week and be able to go to the best ports. We go to primarily Juneau, Skagway, and Ketchikan. If
Mhm.
you go check your research, these are where the key places where people want to go with
Sure.
the most interesting experiences. And that's really the win for our consumers. That's the deployment answer. In
That
terms of the actual brand and what we deliver, we really create, because of our scale and history and commitment, we really deliver a, an Alaska cruise, not just a cruise to Alaska, right? We're not, we have the benefit of not having some foreign country in our name. Okay, we're Princess and we go to Alaska. And when we do, we have onboard content that's all about Alaska. We have a series of speakers. We have axe throwing presentations. We have puppies, learn about the puppies in the piazza. I mean, we have all these things that bring Alaska to life. Really have dialed up the seafood element within our menus. So this isn't just a Caribbean cruise that goes to Alaska. This is
right.
an Alaska cruise.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely a great answer because you do have that experience. And then, of course, an Alaskan cruise isn't about the cruise. It's all really about the land experiences. So, how do you deliver those great land experiences to guests, and what are they?
Well, again, we had one when I was talking about the drivers of going under the mountains category is really Denali and Denali National Park, and you can't, it's not on the coast. So that reality has been is never going to change, and so we have invested over the years not just in one lodge but in two lodges. Basically, one right at the park entrance, and then another lodge further south, closer to the cruise ship terminus, that really focuses specifically on mountain views. So we've invested in those lodges over time. They each have now over 500 rooms, and we continue to invest. So I think that ability to really deliver, and not only do we have the space, but we can set things up to be at the Princess level, and we can create a seamlessness because our guests are fundamentally on these cruise tour vacations that go, cruise, and then you get on a train, and then you visit our lodges, or reverse. We're able to manage all those elements, and create a seamless, truly Princess product throughout the whole thing. In fact, we're investing a lot in that.
Yeah.
We are taking that to the next level as a brand. So under John Padgett's leadership, I'm really excited about it. We are engaging, for example, you've probably seen we have really exciting changes in our dining programs on the ships. And so that same leadership is going through and looking at the lodge experiences as it relates to dining. And really, we're going to be taking that up a notch. We are investing in some room refurbishments. We've refurnished and redecorated the main lodge at McKinley. So we're investing in making sure and some technological improvements so that we can continue to deliver a really seamless experience to be able to go see some of the inland things that you unfortunately cannot see from a cruise ship.
No, and that's where I am. Yeah, I'll tell you something. I've never done that cruise, and I've always wanted to. I've done Alaska, down in Glacier Bay, but never did that cruise, and I always wanted to do that train to the lodge. So that's what I'm missing. It's hard to believe.
Okay, Jay, I'm your gal. If
I,
anybody can get you on there, it's me.
well, I'll go. Next time you go to check it out, I'll go with you. But
Okay,
that's
I'm making a note of it.
there we go. Because I mean, it is one of those things that I've always wanted to go to the domed car and see
Yep,
all that stuff, and then get up to the lodge to see Denali.
yep.
It's always one of those things. But you talked about the investment. I mean, obviously you're making tremendous investments. But so what's next? When I go this summer, how many ships you mentioned earlier? How many ships are going to be in Alaska for
In,
Princess?
in 25, it's 7.
Okay.
And so
Wow.
I should mention a couple of the other itineraries. So I talked about we have round trip Seattle
Okay.
on weekends. We have the longer Gulf voyages. We have two Saturday opposite Saturdays because they only go one way for a week, and as well as a Wednesday ship. So three of those. And then we have, and those are the ones that connect to the cruise tour. But even the cruise only voyage, I have to chime in on this. Even if you just have the 1 week, it is so worth it to take the one-way cruise.
Mhm.
And look, buy any cruise from us, I'm happy. But I'm just telling you, if I was telling my best friend, take the one-way cruise, it's worth it. Sailing out of Vancouver is absolutely, it's actually rates the highest port
No,
to
Vancouver is a
sail in and
beautiful
out of.
city.
It's just heaven, right? Spend a night before. And then also you cruise through more of the inside passage when you're on that itinerary. When you're coming from Seattle, you got to go more around Vancouver Island. And so, but the most exciting bit is at the other end, at the Whittier end, which is for Anchorage. You got to get from Whittier to Anchorage to go on one way or another, you got to get out of Whittier. And that journey, which goes through the Anderson Tunnel and along Turnagain Arm, it's just honestly, I think it's one of the best bits. So even if you can't do the whole cruise tour thing, it's a better cruise.
No,
So there's that. Now, wait, what else I can tell you? Oh, and we sail out of San Francisco. So that's really more locally sourced. We get more past guests there. It's more sea days, really, but it's a great value proposition. And we have, success in that market. So that's just kind of a niche one. So those are our seven.
yeah.
And then in 26, which is already really
I
starting to
know
sell.
you're already booking that.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So I got to bring that up because the big deal there is we're bringing the Star Princess. So our second
That's going to be
Spear
your
class
brand
ship.
new ship, right?
Yeah, yeah. And we're bringing her, she'll be on Sundays out of Seattle. And wow, that is going to be a big deal because it's our first mega ship class, but yet it's been designed within the spirit of Princess, which is even on a mega ship, you need to feel like you're having a personal experience. So the spaces, some are grand, but there are plenty of intimate spaces where you don't feel like you're like with 10 million people. So that's one feature as well. The technology we have with the medallion really empowers a level of personalization that brings the ship smaller from an experiential standpoint. So basically, you get the benefits of scale, which is all these choice and all these great restaurants, etc., without some of the potential drawbacks of scale.
No, and
So
that's a
I could
great
not be
ship.
more excited.
Having been on Sun, the sister, I can imagine Star is going to be amazing in Alaska as well. Great restaurants, great food, great entertainment, magic show, things like that.
Yeah,
Are really going to make that experience when you come back from a full day on land and experiencing that and just the sailing through Alaska in like you mentioned the Inside Passage is one of the most incredible things I've done. So
yeah.
to do that with all the comforts that you have is really one of the great experiences. So now, anything else you want to tell our travel advisors about the Alaska experience, both coming up in 25 and then 26?
Gosh, I think the one last thing I would say is the truth is it's a little the cruise tour bit is a little bit of a complicated sale, right, for travel
Right.
agents. You have to educate yourself a little bit more to be able to deliver that. So along those lines, we have really tried to create a lot of content. So if you go to Princess, we have all kinds of webinars. We have them down to you want to just see what the train's about? We bring the guy who runs the train and show you all about that. You want to know how the luggage works for your guests? Go ahead.
Right.
But we're trying to create a lot of content so people can feel more confident and supported in the sale. But here's the deal. If you're a travel agent, you make bank on these things.
Yeah.
You're making twice as much commission because why? All these people buy balconies and mini suites. That's the reality. As well, this is Q3. I mean, these are, expensive trips is the reality, and therefore the commission. Like the average couple, I think it makes like nine for the average booking. I think book through a travel agent, it's $1,000 of commission, and most people go with friends.
That's
So,
true with the
so
groups or a
yeah.
family.
So
Yeah.
I would just say it's worth the investment to learn.
Yeah. Now, where can travel advisors go on? I mean, obviously, they should just talk to you, I think, because you could tell them what to do. But where can they go to find out more about those Alaska sailings?
They can go, well, of course, we try to have a lot of content on just plain old princess.com.
Right.
But on OneSource is where we really put the content that's for travel agents, which is, more the
Right.
educational, where we're
That's your
speaking in
your
the voice
your
to
uh
them.
your travel advisor site. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have both the standard training, Princess Academy, which we're going to be revamping, but also within the Alaska section, we have a special, I forget what it's called, but we have a special place you can click in for just learn about Alaska, learn about the cruise tours. Cheat sheets like it has cheat sheets like what month should somebody go depending on their interests, like what's best for whales, what's best for northern lights, what's best for bears. All those kinds of tips are right there.
Amazing. Well, you've inspired me. I've been saying it for years. That's a cruise I want to do, and maybe I don't know if I'll wait till Star Princess, but that sounds like I.
No,
Ha,
no, you're not doing that. Here's what you're going to do with moi. We're going to we're going to take the Gulf cruise,
okay.
and we're going to take, because you've got to do the cruise tour, even if you just do a little part, even if I just do you the mini version, right? And because the Star Princess is round trip Seattle.
Yeah.
So I still think, yeah, you've seen the sun. Okay. So you got that experience. You know how fantastic that is. You need to come on a cruise tour.
Absolutely. Well, I'm looking forward to that. I got to go on the train and through the lodge and all that.
Yeah.
Lisa, you're a great resource, great person to know about Alaska. You've been doing it for a long time. I've been doing this for a little bit too. But yeah, it's a great experience. And I want to thank you for taking the time to talk about this. And I'm sure our viewers are going to love hearing from you about the whole experience and where they can send their clients and make money.
Yep. Great. Thank you so much for your time and for choosing me to speak today.
I'm James Gillinglaw, and this is Insider Travel Report.